It is a new day. We're getting started a little late because Dad and I needed to go renew our medical cards for our CDLs. I've got that mess to take care of. I've got pretty much all the stuff cleaned out of the bar now from what you've seen before of that piling up all over the bar. I've got that all taken care of. I've still got crap out in the field that I gotta go spread out and stuff like that. But other than that, I am going to drop these trash wheels here, these road cleaners. I'm gonna go ahead and drop them a little further. I'm not really throwing dirt right now with them, so I'm gonna drop them a bit, get this trash kind of moved away a little further. Hopefully that stops it from plugging up so much. It is dry, so it shouldn't pile up like that again. For a while at least. I can run for a while. But as soon as it gets dark out and that dew or that frost starts setting in, it's just a disaster. And I gotta stop. I can't. If it's that bad, I'll just wait until morning to keep going. But anyway, that's on the agenda today. Finish this. Dad is across the street actually in the 305 with the ammonia bar. He's gonna be putting ammonia on those strips that I just made across the street, and I'll be finishing up these beans here with this fertilizer. There we go. These road cleaners are not a fun job because you gotta crawl all the way back there. Now we're gonna run back to that end of the field where I made that mess and see if we can't get that trash drug around. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess. We're back making strips. I'm pushing a little more dirt and trash with those trash wheels now, or those cleaning wheels, and it seems to not be bunching up. Oh, spoke too soon. I'm just gonna drop those clean sweeps even further because it's already starting to pile up again, and I'm not dealing with it. If I get, you know, one pass and then it bunches up, I'm gonna be 3 weeks getting this field done. I spent more time behind the strip till bar than I have in front of it. Oh man. So I just shallowed those trash wheels all the way up to where they're barely, might tick the ground every now and then. See if that fixes the issue, because clearly I deepened them. Nothing's getting better. I'm gonna see what this does. Maybe I gotta slow down, I don't know. Either way, I can't keep doing this because I'm not gonna get anything done. It's not as bad, but I caught it before it got bad. I have been behind this strip till bar, digging this stuff out for, I'm not kidding, the last 2 hours. I have made it maybe 2.5 acres in 2 hours. I've been trying everything. Moving these trash wheels up and down and left and right and backwards and forwards. I'm about ready to just take the shank off and just blow fertilizer onto the ground. I'm making a mess. You remember in my other videos when I was telling you that I can't really tell you if strip till is better than any of the other practices for tillage, such as no-till and conventional? It's worse. Strip till is worse. Don't do it. Don't buy a strip till bar. It's just a massive pain. Just buy something that you can literally pull behind the tractor and forget about it. It saves so much time in the spring. You just spend so much time, so much more time in the fall than you need to. I should be done by now. It's just, it's a headache. It's a headache, man. Well, I keep finding problem rows that keep doing this. What I do is I just raise the row cleaners one hole higher, and it seems to help a little bit, but good land. This is getting clear frustrating, man. This is not what's helping. This is making it worse. The whole stalk gets caught in there, and then it just starts building up like this. I've gotten nowhere. I want you all to know that I have not done anything today except this. What you're looking at right now. This is all I have done today. I had a more productive day at the doctor's office getting a medical exam. I finally have been going for longer than 100 feet. What I had to do is I slowed down to 3.6 miles an hour. I was running 5.5. So a whole 2 mile an hour slower, and anytime a row would bunch up, I would just move that row cleaner up a hole. I think we've got it whipped. Occasionally it might start. I just gotta really pay attention, and I just lift up a little bit and it'll roll back under and I go back down. This has been miserable. When it gets damp, I'm telling you, I'm quitting. I'm going home, because I know no matter, I'll have to take the row cleaners off to be able to run, which I might do honestly at this point, but hopefully I can run a while before the frost or the dew sets in. I don't know. I probably got maybe 10 acres done now today. Hopefully I can do a lot more acres than that yet. It's only about 6 o'clock or so. Should be able to run another 4 or 5 hours anyway before it really gets too damp to where it starts wadding up every 5 minutes again. I know what I did. And no, I don't want to talk about it. These gloves are thick. I can't really feel what's going on. Well, the stalks are getting wet. Moisture's coming up. Everything is plugging every 5 minutes again. Not even 5 minutes. That's an exaggeration. It's actually every 15 seconds. Rows are plugging. I'm this close to just taking the sweeps off of the machine, or off of the bar. I'm probably going to try it tomorrow. That's just being honest here. I'm probably going to take them off because this is not going well. I should have been done with this side of this farm. I haven't even ran out of fertilizer since I filled it yesterday. It's just ridiculous. I can't do anything here. So anyway, I'm shutting it down for tonight because I'm just dragging stuff. I'm making a mess, honestly. Like, I should be, just leave it at that. I'm making a disaster here. It is a new day. We got a lot further than I thought last night. But I'm tired of dealing with it bunching up. Like I said, what I was doing is as I was going across the field, anytime it would bunch up, I would just raise those trash wheels a little bit. And it seemed to be alleviating the problems, but I was running 3.5 miles an hour versus 5.5, 6. And that's gonna take me forever. And as you can see, it didn't alleviate all the headaches, because as that stuff starts getting wet, it's still piling up. I'm just going to take these trash wheels completely off of the bar. The reason being is you can see where it's piling up, right between the shank and these trash wheels. And the reason for that, I believe, is because this is way too close. I don't know why these are here. Put these in front of this opening disc, and I don't think you'd have a problem. You know, just bring this bracket out for these trash wheels. Maybe even get some spring action here instead of doing this stiff deal. There's no give on these. It's just where you set them is where they lay, and that's not a good plan. Maybe we can do some redesigning for next year, but for now, I'm just gonna take these clear off because there's so much trash out here. I can't, it just, as soon as it piles up right here, it's catching the back of these, and it's just throwing it up here, getting stuck, and just making a mess. So that's what we're gonna start the day with. Taking these off shouldn't be a big feat here. I've already got the air cart loaded down. I did that last night. So basically, as soon as I get these row cleaners off, we'll be able to go. And I'm hoping I can speed up with those off. Hopefully I can run 5.5, 6 mile an hour again, but I don't know. And maybe I ought to deepen the shanks up a little. It'll be another day of trial and error here, because I haven't dealt with this much trash in my life. So we'll see. Well, we've got the trash wheels all taken off of there. See how much more room there is now between that? Now, if you had like a clean sweep system right out front, maybe angle these in a bit further, because you don't need that much room. But now we've got plenty of room for trash to roll out and hopefully escape there before piling up like that down there. All right, let's get to tilling. I left this out last night because I forgot my bucket. So I can get that dumped in there quick. And then we'll go see if we can't run faster than 3.5 miles an hour. So as you can see to my left, I got quite a ways last night. There wasn't much piling. I actually made it through all this trash, and that was with me constantly lifting those trash wheels. So what I'm thinking, what I'm hoping, is by taking those off, I should be able to run a lot faster. I had to quit last night. As you can see, it was starting to bunch up a little bit. The stalks, a frost started setting in, and the stalks were just giving me fits. You can see I pulled a row here where I drug quite a bit. I almost made it to the end, and it was you know what, I'm giving up, because I kept setting in. I'm digging trenches. I'm just not doing a good job. With the trash wheels off, it's warm, windy, dry. We should be able to run in 9th gear, where I'm at now, at 5.6 mile an hour. So, moment of truth here. I'm gonna go ahead and go over that lump of trash here. I'll turn the fertilizer on, set her down, see how she does. It keeps wanting to bunch up over here on this right side, but because those trash wheels aren't there, it's just flying right by the shank. I think we may have fixed our problem here. Well, we are running at 7.5 miles an hour. I know I was running slower before, but now that I've taken these trash wheels off, I've noticed I can run a lot quicker without it piling up. I was having a few issues of the mud actually or the dirt, just sticking to the shanks. So I kept speeding up. Well, now I'm pulling at 7.5 mile an hour. It's doing a much better job. Obviously, the faster you pull these tillage tools, the better job they're gonna do. So I'm not upset about it, and I'm gaining some time what I lost yesterday and the day before. So I got finished on the other side of the farm there, finally. And so I thought, you know what? I think the rest of this fertilizer will just fit on the cart. So I thought I'll just fill the cart before I even start on this side of the field. Well, I'm using the lovely wagon that the fertilizer doesn't really come out of. I call it the anti-gravity wagon. We were getting filled here. I've got it tipped on the side of this waterway here. It was working great. All of that stuff broke loose, piled down into that boot, and now, when I turn this on, it's totally plugged. So I thought, oh, that's fine. I can get it unplugged, no problem. I've got our fertilizer tote here. I can just empty the hopper, and I'll just have to reverse the auger back and forth and just kind of work it all out of there until it'll finally go. Yeah, well, then the fertilizer tote busted in the bottom, so I had to race up the steps of the cart while it was pouring out all over my shoes and stuff. Finally got it dumped. Now I don't have a tote to get this empty. I don't want to dump it all over the ground. I've got a scoop shovel. I'm gonna try to get as much of it into the cart. If I'm making a mess, I gotta go all the way back home and grab a bushel basket, which we should have had in the first place, but last year it was accidentally ran over, not by me, so we didn't have one, but we had that plastic tote instead. That guy. Yeah, my day's going pretty well. After dealing with all the stalks bunching up and all that stuff, and dealing with this wagon before, I knew it was a problem, but I said, you know what? I just want to get this done. Let's throw it in there. We should have just not use that wagon. And now I have a massive problem on my hands that might take forever. And it's getting dark. So, goose fraba. Anger management. Whew. I am getting very irritated with this thing. Well, I don't have a scoop shovel in the truck like I thought I did. That means I need to walk all the way across the field to our other pickup and drive home. I know I'm complaining a lot, but honestly, things could be worse. Life's pretty good, but man, farming can get very irritating very quickly. This is just one of those weeks that everything is going wrong. Anyway, I am headed back to grab that bushel basket. And while I'm on the way, I'm just gonna pick up my father because he's got an empty tank up here that he's gonna have to take back. And he's running the ripper on another farm, so he wants the truck anyway. So it's not a huge waste of time, but all I've got is like 2 tons of fertilizer left in that wagon. It's just all caked up on the sidewalls, so. Well, Dad decided to stay and help me get that unplugged, which is awful nice of him because it would have taken a while just with one person, but we got it unplugged. I am flying on this other field here. And it's working up much nicer, as you can see. The strips are looking beautiful, way better than that other field. I think what happened here is this field is facing east and west. That other field was facing north and south. I think the wind drug a lot of this trash out of the field because it's facing east and west, and I think that's why it's running so well. Typically you have a wind out of the west, so it's blowing east, and when the stalks are running north and south, well, that trash just gets caught on those stalks and just sticks there the whole time. I'm assuming that's why this is running a lot better. Run, Forrest, run! Well, it is only 9:30 and we just finished that 40. So that was about 2.5 hours. When things are going correctly, I can cover a lot of ground. I had maybe 1 or 2 times where I had to get out of the tractor, but this field looks immensely better than that one to the east, all because the rows were east and west and the wind could literally blow that trash out. Either way, we are done here. We are headed home because I think it's supposed to rain soon and we don't have any fertilizer left because I didn't think that I was gonna finish here today, honestly. I told my fertilizer guy, just don't even bring me any because this has been a nightmare, so. But it's only 9:30. I'm just gonna go ahead and run this home. Should take me, I don't know, 40 minutes, half an hour. And then I gotta come back up, grab the truck and the wagon, take that home, get it all in the shed. Well, I already had a change of heart. Didn't even make it out of the field and change my plans here. I'm just gonna park this up by the farmhouse that's up here. Leave it here because we may not get any rain tomorrow. And I kinda wanna do a 50-acre field that we've got somewhat close by, and I'd rather not drive it all the way home just to drive it back. So I'm gonna leave this here. I'll take the truck and the wagon home instead and head home.